Hey everyone, it's Jason Donnelly, aka DJ Puzzle, reporting from my website, iPadLoops.com. And today we're going to have a look at an app, you guessed it, Beatmaker 3. What are we going to do? I'm going to blow this app wide open for you guys with one simple tip. Coming from a traditional DAW background, I can totally relate how some of you might have difficulties looking at this screen and wondering, what do I do with it? I got one simple tip for you. Watch this. Boom. There it is. Looks familiar, right? That looks like your typical DAW. This is the song tab under the sequencer. So here you have all your tracks. And just like you would see in a traditional DAW, you've got all the tracks, your mute solo, your timeline, the loop selection tool. Don't let the word bank throw you off. That term in Beatmaker 3 is, to me, a track. A bank is a track that contains information, for the most part, that is usually MIDI or samples mapped out to the pads or a virtual instrument. So that's a bank, okay? All right, so let's start with drums. Now I'm going to assign the MIDI input and output to my interface. The drum track is going to be a bunch of samples in BeatHawk. Okay, BeatHawk is an audio unit. In this app, it would be referred to as a plugin. So we're going to use BeatHawk. So what we're going to do is now go back over to your plugins tab here and audio units. Go down to BeatHawk. And you can use BeatHawk or Bismarck for drums. They're both really great. There aren't a whole lot of options for acoustic drum kits right now as audio units. So BeatHawk is cool. I bought a drum kit for it. And these are the presets here. Okay, those are the default sounds that come with it. Let's go ahead and load the acoustic drum set that I bought. It was on sale. It was only $2.99. So I got this acoustic drum kit expansion for BeatHawk. And when you go to load it, you want to use this top acoustic drums patch here. The rest, those are all the different drums in it. But if you use the acoustic drums, it'll load all of them mapped out to a keyboard. Okay, see, it's only going to go on that pad. Now, if we hit keyboard, you'll get all the individual hits mapped out for you. So it's really nice, all set up for you. Okay, so let's, now that we got the instruments loaded, I set up a project in advance because what I did was I tuned the whole kit down a semitone. So I saved that. There we go. See here, pitch, it's down a semitone. Just because I wanted to tune the toms to what I was going to play on the guitar and bass. So double click on the workspace and create a new pattern. And I'm going to make mine 8 measures and I'm going to hit record. And here we go. Cool, so now we have a 4-bar drum loop. Double click on it to see the pattern. Now, if it looks like this, hit the piano roll button. Boom. And scroll down and you'll see the information for your MIDI notes. And down here, we have a little selection tool. Let's use that. And I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to duplicate it so that it's longer, basically. I might mess with it later and add some symbols or whatever. But just, for this purpose, we'll keep it simple. So now you have 8 measures for drums. Let's have a listen to the drums once through. All right, and there you have it. So now we'll go back to the song. So we were in pattern. We were in the pattern. We double clicked, it put us in the pattern. you got to click the song tab to bring you back to the traditional DAW style workspace. Okay, so here's what it looks like now. We finished the drum track. It's a MIDI drum track using an AU, using Beat Hawk, acoustic drums. Let's move on to laying down the bass line. Let's take a quick moment, hit the menu bar and save the project here. Save. Boom. Now you've got a dialog box here and all these options for saving. Let's not worry about those right now. We can talk about these in another tutorial. I want to keep things simple. Just a basic save here. We're going to just go ahead, click save. Okay. Overwrite. I'm overwriting because I already saved it. Named it rock. Boom. Close out the menu option there. Back in song mode in the sequencer. Create a new audio track. Okay. That's going to be our bass track. Now here, we're going to assign our inputs. You can do it from the mixer screen here, or you can do it from that song screen on the individual track. Let's do it from the mixer. So just long press and you'll get those options. Now, what I'm going to do is use an individual input, but I'm going to have a mic and a direct channel set up for the bass. So what we're going to do here is create another new track. All right, so one is for the mic'd amplifier, and the other is going to be for the direct off the bass head. Okay, arm the tracks, unarm that Beat Hawk track, and now we're ready to record, okay? Now, my bass amp and all that stuff is kind of off scene. I'm gonna have to go and monkey with it real quick. So bear with me. Setting up the mic placement, and I gotta check my, my input levels. So right down here, click these little monitor buttons for each channel and activate the monitor. Now, normally in a real, mixing situation, you're gonna do your gain staging and all that ahead of time, right? Right here, we don't have gains to set in the app. They're gonna be set here on the interface. I'm just doing a real quick video, so forgive me if my gains are a little off. They could be better. So what I'm gonna do is check to see if I'm getting that direct input and mic'd input. So I don't know why I hit effects, sorry. I'm actually doing this upside down right now, so I'm standing behind the interface, so please bear with me. Okay, so it looks like we got those two channels set up, the mic and direct feed. We're getting some gain here. Looks good. All right. Okay, so here we go. Now let's go back to the, let's hit record. Recorded 8 bars, 2 channels simultaneously, a direct and a mic'd bass. All right, and so you see your wave files, and so now you see your waveforms here. Let's close this effect screen. Okay, boom. Sorry about that. All right, so let's solo it, and one thing you can do for a quick fix is use this audio unit effect. I love it. FAC, F-A-C, Maxima. Really nice little compressor, maximizer. it'll just kind of smooth out that bass performance a little bit. Kind of tighten it up. So check your levels. Again, like I said, I did this real quick. I didn't really set it up properly. We don't have any like real like digital clipping or anything. There's no distortion, but you know, you want to make sure that these are all set in advance so you don't get any clipping or artifacts or, you know, distortion in your recordings. It all starts at the gain, but then, you know, you make your way to these faders here and set those and you'll be good. So with that said, let's go ahead and name these two bass tracks. Oh no, that's the direct. That's bass direct. And bass mic. Okay, so we have save. Boom. Okay, there we go. We have our bass. Let's move on to recording guitar. All right, so picking up where we left off, we're gonna track our guitar, and let's see. So I think for the distortion and amplifier, since I'm going to be going direct with my guitar into the interface, I'm going to choose to use an Interap audio effect by Yonak. It's called Tone Stack. And Tone Stack is a set of amps and effects for guitar. They sound really great. So the thing is, first you want to create an audio track again. This will be for our guitar track, okay? And guitar, oh, rhythm. This will be for the rhythm guitar. All right. Now, what am I doing? Why am I? Oh, guitar. And for that one, we're going to use Yonak Tone Stack. It's an Interap audio effect and amplifier. And that's going to help give our guitar a nice little bit of boost. But let's set up the input first. Okay. So I'm going through, I track doc 1. Now, onto the effects. Add effect AUIAA. So it's an IA. So we're going to scroll all the way down here to Yonak Tone Stack. All right. Works really well. So now if you click on it and show plugin, it'll show you, you know, all your settings and whatnot. It's not an AU, so it doesn't open within Beatmaker 3. We are in a separate screen here, completely outside of Beatmaker 3. There's some settings you can mess with if you want, like you want to sync the effects to the host, your DAW, in this case Beatmaker 3. You can, you know, change the internal clock. Then you don't have to mess with the effects, the rhythmic effects, you know, that they'll automatically sync. Some other settings in here that you can mess with. It's a really great app. So yeah, I mean, outside of that, I've got everything already kind of dialed in the way I wanted it. So let's just go ahead and click this little Beatmaker icon down here in the lower right corner, and it'll take us back to the DAW session. Right? Now, we should have a signal. Now, the thing is, we're still set up for the bass. So I'm going to go ahead and check these, the inputs and whatnot. My guitar stuff is, yeah, see, I'm back behind the iPad again. So please bear with me, I'm working upside down. We're set up for bass, so I'm gonna uncheck these monitor, I'm gonna deactivate these little monitor buttons here. We don't need those. We're gonna go ahead and assign the input. Let's click monitor. Oh, I'm sorry, the input's already set up. Okay, boom. That's going through Yonak's tone stack right now, right? Yeah. So I'm basically trying to get kind of like a real spacey, dissonant shoegazer sound. That's like one of my favorite genres. It is like a shoegaze, space rock, you know, really big wall of sound guitars. Cosmonaut is the app of choice right now. And I did a video on Cosmonaut. If you want, look at the top of the screen there. I'm linking to the Cosmonaut video. There will also be a link down in the description below. So cruising through a few of these presets that I know are pretty big and spacey. I'm gonna choose the one that I think sounds more like a wall of guitar noise. Going for a wall of guitar noise, basically, for this track. And I'm gonna turn this Haas effect off. Again, I'm looking at this upside down, so I'm a little disoriented, but ambience, you know, dial it back a little bit. That's kind of like a reverb. We're getting kind of a fluttery LFO, so I'm gonna dial that back. And I think what I might do is crank up this, let's get all these LFOs. Yeah, there we go, a little high pass, and crank up this loop, tape loop effect. All right, so there you have that. So that's that. So now we are, boom. Okay, we're ready. I think we're ready. No, let's add some reverb. So now we're gonna add some reverb. I don't mind this stock verb that comes with Beatmaker 3. I think it sounds pretty good. It's called M verb. So we want to get a nice, big, spacious, long, spacious sound out of that as well. I'm really trying to get a big reverb, a big wall of sound. And again, you know, to do that, using that Cosmonaut delay and a reverb gets pretty dang close. You could double up your guitar tracks, which I'm not going to do in this tutorial, but normally I would do that. I'd double up the guitars, maybe even stack them 3 times, and do some panning. And that's one thing you can do to kind of fatten up your sound and thicken it up and just get it really huge sounding. I'm not going to do that in this tutorial. I'm trying to keep this under a half hour. But, you know, that's something you can do. Oh, now see, my iPad is, I'm pushing it. If this happens to you, first thing you want to do is check and make sure your airplane mode is on. That'll turn off your Wi-Fi and all the services that run in the background that connect like wirelessly and stuff that could mess with it. Check it, and if it's still glitching out, go to your settings here and adjust the latency and your buffer settings here, okay? I had that pretty short earlier. I was doing MIDI stuff. When I play beats, I like that. I like to feel that drum hit right away. But now that we're doing audio, see that? There you go. That fixed it. I don't mind so much having that buffer setting. So, sounding good. We got everything set. iPad's not glitching. Let's go ahead and let's lay it down. Isn't that a cool Judas Priest song? Lay it down. Lay it down. Anyway, guitar sounds all right. It sounds pretty spacey. We'll try it out over the bass and drums. All right, so I think that'll work. I'm going to go ahead and record this. Disarm the record buttons on the bass and arm the rhythm guitar track. It's armed to record. Tune up a little. Alright, so it sounds decent. One thing I wanted to show you was that you can normalize your track by double-clicking on the wave form and then hit Edit Sample. Okay. Now look at all these great parameters that you can use to edit that sample. Go over here and hit Process, and now you can normalize to 0 dB or whatever you wish to set it to. Alright, so there you have it. That's a normalized file. It found the highest peak in the waveform and boosted it to the whole thing up to where that highest peak hits 0 dB. Sounds nice and loud. Again, I just want to point this out that you can long hold on top of the track with little colored boxes and access a lot of parameters. You can do that on your tracks as well. You don't have to do that from the mixer screen. But one cool thing we can do is use Cosmonaut to really space this guitar out even more than it already is. I'm going to do something here, and I'm going to see if we can sort of kind of lift harmonics out of this track and really space them out. Hear that? You're kind of creating like sort of like a ghost melody. You can just have so much fun in this app. I mean, there's just so much to explore. Kind of hear this ghost melody, almost sounds like a synth playing. So that's my tutorial, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it helped open the app up for you. Being a traditional DAW guy, this is how I work most of the time. I'm not a clip samples. I do a lot of live instrumentation and linear tracking. So that's what inspired me to create this video. I kind of wanted to open that up for you guys. So please, if you enjoyed, please follow. Use a little bell thing on YouTube if you want to get updates when I put new content up. I would appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, and anything you buy through my affiliate links helps, as I don't have ads. This is an ad-free channel. Thanks for watching.